A text message. No name, no context. Just 2 sentences, the amount and the rules. $100 billion. Legal ownership of actual goods and assets only. No donations, no gifts, no financial instruments. Spend it all in 24 hours or lose everything. You open the bank app. The balance is real. You stare at it for a few seconds, then do the only logical thing. Order a $4 coffee on the card to see if it declines. It doesn't. The receipt hits your phone before you put it down. Clock starts. 8 a.m. 24 hours. The first move isn't buying anything, it's calling for help. You have $100 billion, 24 hours, and genuinely no idea how to move money at that scale. So you find the number for an emergency financial fixer, the kind of operator who exists specifically for situations that don't have a normal process. One call leads to 3 more. Within 90 minutes, you have a war room, 4 transactional lawyers, 2 commodities brokers, a logistics coordinator, and a private aviation specialist. You don't pay them hourly. You pay them a 1% commission on every physical title they close today, paid the moment the transfer confirms. Close a $500 million jet portfolio, they invoice $5 million. Close a $2 billion fuel block, they invoice $20 million. 8 people now have a personal financial reason to move as fast as physically possible. Before a single asset changes hands, the fee structure alone is built to push hundreds of millions out the door. Private jets go first. Not new builds, aircraft already sitting on tarmacs in Geneva, Dubai, Fort Lauderdale. FAA and international registry title transfers close in under 2 hours when cash is already in escrow. The sellers don't negotiate. Wire clears, name changes, done. While the jet titles are processing, the hypercars run in parallel. Every available unit from dealer floors and private brokers across Europe and the US. Lamborghinis, Bugattis, Koenigsegg's, whatever has a clean title and a seller who answers the phone. The logistics coordinator is tracking 40 simultaneous transactions on a whiteboard that keeps running out of space. Then come the watches and handbags, not online orders. That's too slow and inventory is fragmented. Your buyers walk into Rolex, Patek Philippe, Hermès, and Louis Vuitton boutiques across London, Paris, and New York with one instruction. Buy every physical item on every shelf in every location. No title delay, no transfer queue. You hand over the card, you own it. A Rolex boutique in Mayfair gets cleared out in 22 minutes. Allocated physical gold runs alongside this. Not a paper contract, not a futures position. Specific numbered bars already sitting in LBMA vaults in London. The bars don't move. The name on the vault record does. 1 bar, 1 serial number, 1 name change, settled in hours. Bulk fuel follows the same logic. You buy bills of lading on oil tankers already at sea. The oil stays on the ship. The owner's name on the maritime registry changes. Physical ownership, immediate transfer. No shipping required. 6 hours in, the running tally sits at roughly $8 to $10 billion. The team is at full capacity, and they've barely touched the balance. At this pace, you won't get close. The easy inventory is gone. You need to move serious volume, so the team pivots to assets with bigger price tags. Real estate is the obvious next call. You put cash offers on entire luxury high-rise developments in Miami and New York, as is deals, no inspection periods, no financing contingencies. The sellers agree immediately, and then nothing moves. The Miami-Dade County Clerk's recording system runs on a queue. There is no Billionaire lane. Title searches take 4 to 6 hours at minimum, and a government employee's computer does not process faster because you have more zeros in your account. The deals are signed, the cash is sitting, and the titles are stuck behind a line that moves at its own speed. Art runs in parallel. Your buyers go into Sotheby's and Christie's to clear back inventory in bulk lots, not bidding at auction, buying privately at list. It works, but the total dollar volume is smaller than expected. Clearing every available piece across both houses doesn't move the needle the way you need. So the team goes after vehicle fleets. Every Hertz Black Label location, every Kerry limousine fleet, every private charter bus company operating out of a major U.S. airport. Physical vehicles, clear titles, no regulatory approval required. You wire the money and the deals close. Then the DMV problem hits. Vehicle title transfers in the U.S. run through state databases that process sequentially. Buying 40,000 vehicles at once creates a title queue the system physically can't handle in real time. The cars are paid for. The titles haven't transferred yet. You don't legally own them until the state records update, and the state records update on their own schedule. It gets worse. Word spreads through the broker network that one buyer is clearing every available fleet in the country. Sellers who haven't been called yet start raising prices. Fleet inventory listed at $80,000 per unit gets quoted at $104,000 because every seller in the market now knows there's only one buyer left in the room. buying pressure becomes its own tax. 14 hours in, the tally sits at roughly $35 to $40 billion. More than half the clock is gone. The fast lanes are closing one by one. You're 14 hours in with $35 to $40 billion spent, and you're wondering why you can't just buy something bigger. The most common one, buy a country's debt. It sounds airtight. Sovereign debt has a price, and there's always a country that needs cash. Except bond trade settled T+1. You click buy at 3 p.m. The transaction confirms at 8 a.m. the next morning. The settlement window is baked into how bond markets physically function. The clock doesn't negotiate with clearinghouses. Sports teams come up constantly. Buy an NFL franchise, an NBA team, a Premier League club. The problem isn't the price, it's the calendar. Every major league requires a vote from existing owners before a transfer goes through. The NFL vote alone takes a minimum of 3 to 6 months. Money doesn't override it. Nothing overrides it. So the team goes after physical infrastructure, toll roads, power plants, water treatment facilities, real assets, hard prices, no stock involved. Every filing triggers a national security review before it reaches anyone with signing authority. The moment a private individual tries to buy the power grid serving a major metro area, the government treats it like a border crossing. Governments don't sell infrastructure in 24 hours to anyone, at any price. Shipping fleets hit the same wall from a different angle. Acquiring Maersk as a company requires board approval and regulatory sign-off across multiple jurisdictions simultaneously. Same result as the sports teams, just with maritime law on top. What does work, and it's already in the column, is buying the cargo, not the ships. Bills of lading on containers already at sea, but the available volume has a ceiling, and you hit it fast. Then someone suggests overpaying. Buy a $200 watch for $2 million, repeat 1,000 times. The first wire goes through. The second triggers an automated flag. By the third, a suspicious activity report is filed, and the wire sits in pending verification. Pending is the same as 0 when you have a deadline. AML systems don't care about intent. They see the same account, sending repeated transfers at irrational multiples, and they stop it automatically before a human even looks at the screen. The SAR doesn't go to you, it goes to FinCEN. A federal database logs the pattern, flags the account tier, and routes it to a compliance queue that runs on its own clock. You can't call the queue, you can't pay it. It processes when it processes. The one thing that actually works in this window is data centers. Physical buildings housing server racks, cooling systems, and the silicon that routes internet traffic across continents. Tier 4 facilities in Northern Virginia, outside Dallas, and in Amsterdam. Not cloud contracts, not server time, the actual machines, the concrete floors, the copper wiring inside the walls. Every rack has a serial number, every building has a deed, and the title transfer paperwork is already standardized and ready. Your logistics coordinator pulls the asset schedules directly, rack count, cooling unit serial blocks, fiber termination points, and attaches them to the deed as an exhibit. The whole package closes as a single real property transaction. These deals close fast, but the inventory runs out faster. There are only so many Tier 4 facilities on the planet with clean title registers and no government entanglement. The Northern Virginia corridor has the densest concentration in the world, and you work through it in under 3 hours. Then it's gone. No more buildings, no more racks. The next available facility needs environmental sign-off before the deed can move, and that process takes weeks. So the team pivots to moving smaller volume at higher velocity. Wiring against boutique inventory lists, clearing remaining art lots, stacking every clean physical title still on the board. That's when the bank calls. $15 billion flagged across multiple wires for unusual activity. A compliance officer in South Dakota puts the account under manual review. The wires stop. Not frozen permanently, not seized, just paused pending documentation that will take longer than 2 hours to produce. Manual review means a real person has to open each flagged transaction, pull the counterparty records, cross-check the beneficial ownership chain, and sign off individually. There are 14 flagged wires, one compliance officer. The final push dies in a queue in the middle of the country. Clock hits 8 a.m. You've been awake the entire night. Final tally, roughly $62 to $65 billion spent. $35 billion still in the account. The war room invoices land alongside the final count. The team closed enough physical titles that their combined 1% commissions come to approximately $620 million, paid entirely through legitimate professional service fees. It helped. It wasn't close to enough. What worked? Aviation titles, physical bullion, bulk fuel via bills of lading, boutique inventory, art lots, data center hardware. What didn't? Real estate queued out, vehicle titles backed up in state systems, sovereign assets blocked at every filing, and AML froze the last 2 hours entirely. The ceiling for same-day spending on physical assets sits somewhere around $60 to $70 billion, with a full team, perfect execution, and nothing going wrong until hour 22. Everything above that either takes time you don't have, requires approval from people who don't move fast, or triggers a system that was specifically built to stop exactly what you're doing. The bottleneck was never courage or creativity. It was county clerks, state DMV queues, compliance officers in South Dakota, and settlement windows written into law decades before anyone had $100 billion to move in a single day.